Hello guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Today was a remarkable day because I came to the Power to Influence here in Calgary, and the experience that I had was like really good. Like I'm like overwhelmed with like all the knowledge that I learned and all the things that I'm eager to try to be successful, right? One of the things that we focus on today, the main thing was like identifying your story, like what's your story, right? And then back here we have some of the things was in order to create the story, you need to have first like a desire, right? Like what's your why? What are you doing? What are you doing, right? In my case was I came from Colombia, right? And some unfortunate events happened in my family, and that drove me to just seek out a better life, to be above the norm of that country. So thanks to my mom, I was able to come here to Canada, get a better life, right? Now another thing, in order for you to like portray the story, is like your breathing, right? One of the speakers, Roger Love, he's like the number one vocal coach in the world. He's the one who helped Selena Gomez, Bradley Cooper from like The Star Is Born. He helped Tony Robbins, and all of these other stars and public speakers. He helped them to find their voice, right? One of the things that he mentioned and he taught us was like how to control your breathing, right? He was talking about like diaphragm, like breathing, just breathing with your stomach instead of like your lungs, right? And that way you're able to talk, better and to portray your message with easier, right? And then the next thing is like motion, right? Okay, it says here, number 3 is motion. So words is only about 7% of communication, right? Then we got tone, and then physiology. Physiology is the way we move, we move our body, and I think it was like 53%. It was a physiological, right? And then the other 40% was the tone, like how are we actually like speaking low, or are we speaking like really high, like I cannot feel my voice, right? Or the volume, like I was speaking loud or I was speaking like soft, right? The pauses, are you like speaking like for longer or like short, quick, to the point, right? All of this has a huge influence in the message that you want to portray. So it's really important when you're trying to tell your story that you pay attention to these things, right? And then for physiology, that was the big one. That was the biggest one. Because the way, we portray a message, the first thing that people see, it's like our body, right? Even before we say a word, the first thing that they notice is like what we look like and the emotions and how we portray ourselves, right? So there was some other guys here called the style guys who gave us tips in just clothing and lifestyle and things like that. So your body and how you portray yourself is like really important to portray your message once again, right? And with the physiology, we were more talking in like body language, just being able to naturally just move around the stage, and so you guys, the stage is back here, move around the stage and just be confident, right? Shoulders back, open up, right? You don't want to close down, right? You want to be like opening up, and so people trust you and have more confidence in you, right? And they can actually see you as an authority, right? Because you actually know what you're talking about. Okay, and then lastly, 4th point that we have here is you have to own your story, right? There was a bunch of speakers here, and the main theme was that you need to like be personal with your story. Do not make up someone else's stories, right? It has to be like your own. And the reason for this is because you can actually feel, and when you talk, you're actually you're portraying, you're transmitting those messages to your audience, right? And then emotions, they're great in that the words that you say. That was one of the things that Roger Love focused on. He was saying that it doesn't really matter the words that we say, but what matters most is like how we say them, right? Like the tone of voice, right? Are we talking like with emotion, right? Are we like actually speaking to the heart, right? Because if we just talk words just randomly, just memorize the whole script, people are not gonna be engaged with us, right? People are gonna be zooming in and out, right? But if you speak with emotion, people are actually gonna engage with you. They're actually gonna feel what you're trying to portray, and they're actually gonna imagine like your story, right? So by owning your story, like you're able to connect better with your audience, and your message will be like easier to like tell and relate with other people, right? So to summarize, like the steps for like of a good story, first thing you need is desire, and that starts with your why, right? Like why do you want to do it? Like what's your driving force, right? Like why you're here, why are you here? Second thing, to help you tell your story is like breathing. You have to be able to control your breathing, so you're not like running out of breath and things like that. And also like so you can speak like louder, stronger. You can articulate better. Third thing is like when you're telling your story, you have to focus on motion, right? On your communication. Communication has like many aspects, but like the three most important are like words. It's like what you're saying, the words. They're actual. This is what I'm saying, the words. But that only accounts for like 7%, right? Then we have tone and physiology. Tone is roughly like 40%, and physiology, which is your like body language, is roughly like 53%, right? So this is like huge because like many people, they just focus on the words, right? They don't understand the importance of like body language, right? Having a nice posture, being like confident, looking tall, high, right? That's like really important. Believe it or not, like people judge us like in the first 5 seconds, right? They get like an impression of who we are just based on like how the way our body's like moving, right? And then lastly, number 4 is like own your story. It's gotta be your story, nobody else, right? It's gotta be a personal story, so you can actually connect with other people. It's gonna be authentic, right? You cannot fake feelings, right? I don't know why some people they start like crying, like fakely crying, just because they think they're gonna be, they're gonna touch other people, right? Just be your own, right? Just tell your story, what happened. You have to tell the hardships of your life. I can show you here the stage here. You see this is like the whole stage. I'm just like pretending to be, if I were a speaker, I'll be speaking here against like, this stage was like 300 people, so 400 people, so it wasn't that as much, but it was a good experience just to be here. Overall, I'm like full with happiness, and I'm really grateful to be here. Like all the speakers, man, it was Bo Eason, I don't remember his last name, how to pronounce it, but he was a NFL like safety football player. He was like he was the best in his position, and man, the way that he tells his story, it's like so compelling, so like engaging. Like I was there, like in my mind, I was like, holy crap, I'm the safety, and I imagined myself as he was like, as if I was him, right? That's how good he told his story. So story is really important because it's stories like who you are, right? It's what sets you apart from other people. Everybody else, we can have the same things, but like the story is what like sets us apart, right? This is like backstage, I guess. Well, there's not really a backstage, but if they were, it would be pretty cool. We're here in a hotel in Calgary. We're in the convention center right now, and just hope you guys find this helpful here. I'll probably make another video with more like in-depth explanation of what I learned, right? But like this was just like a blueprint. Like the event just finished like 30 minutes ago, and you know, you can see like the tables are all clean, and people are just like, you know, they're just hanging out, they're just networking, right? And I'm here shooting the video, you know, because I'm trying to make this a new thing for my life. So yeah, I hope that everything works out, and see you guys soon.